The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desire brings weak results, just as a small fire produces little heat. Napoleon Hill.
Have you ever realized that the whole world teaches you how to run, but no one teaches you where? Since you were a child, you were trained to please, to follow rules, to fit in. But no one ever told you that focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's survival. The truth is harsh. While you worry about saving the world, your own life is sinking. And then in the silence of the night, when everything stops, that question comes, when did I stop choosing myself? Napoleon Hill got right to the point. No one achieves true fulfillment while living for others. And maybe that's what's stopping you. Maybe you are seeking success with the wrong mindset. Perhaps you are trying to manifest abundance by carrying the weight of other people's expectations. The big turning point happens when you decide to focus on yourself. And no, that's not a cheap self-help phrase. It's a radical repositioning of your energy. Because your mind has power, but it needs to be turned inward, not outward. Do you know why most people never get rich? Because you never stop to ask, what is wealth to me? They continue running in circles, feeding limiting beliefs that say that thinking about yourself is wrong, that seeking personal growth is vanity, that prioritizing yourself is a sin. But what if this is all a lie? What if the key to manifesting the life you deserve is precisely this? Stop erasing yourself, stop adapting, and start focusing with discipline and courage on yourself. And if this topic is already resonating within you, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel right now. This is very important for the growth of the channel and, mainly, so that you continue to receive in-depth content like this, which helps you awaken your true potential. Here, you will always find practical tools to transform yourself from the inside out. You don't need to ask permission to awaken. And in this video, you will discover exactly how to change your reality from the moment you decide to put yourself first. You will learn how to dominate your mind, reprogram your thoughts, and eliminate everything that stops you from growing. You will understand how your purpose can transform, and how to stand firm even on days when everything seems to be falling apart. Because this is the real journey of those who want much more than success. They want meaning. So take a deep breath, look inside, and prepare yourself. Because from now on, you will no longer get lost in the noise outside. You will finally learn to listen to what your soul has been trying to tell you for years. And when that happens, everything starts to change. Imagine that your life is a vast garden. Every choice you make, no matter how small it may seem, is a seed sown into the fertile soil of existence. When you understand that personal growth is like growing a fruit tree, everything changes. It is necessary to plant with intention, water with self-discipline, and protect with faith. Napoleon Hill already said that success is born first in the mind, and only then blossoms in the physical world. Therefore, it is not about waiting for things to improve, but about taking responsibility for sowing positive thoughts, eliminating limiting beliefs, and developing a successful mindset day after day. Many live waiting for the right time to change. But the truth, which few have the courage to face, is that the right time does not exist, it is created. And it is at this point that personal development becomes a daily, almost sacred practice. The person who chooses to get up half an hour earlier to meditate, write affirmations, or read a book like Who Thinks Gets Rich, you are, in effect, reprogramming your mind for abundance. This is the true power of the mind in action. What you sow today, consistently, is what you reap tomorrow. And yes, this goes for both financial wealth and spiritual growth. It's curious how, when observing a gardener, we realize that he never plants and waits for the fruit the next day. He understands time. So it is with self-improvement. It's a process. And the more you understand this, the more value you give to what you are building. Whoever wants to get rich must first get rich from within. You need to believe that it is possible, even when the whole world says otherwise. This is the essence of true motivation. It's not about momentary excitement, but about a daily commitment to your own growth, even if no one is applauding. It's not easy to maintain this commitment in a world that constantly invites us to give up. But the secret is to transform the invisible into visible through action. Do you want to change your reality? So start changing your small decisions. Swap your cell phone for 15 minutes of reading about self-discipline. Replace the negative thought with a powerful affirmation like, I am worthy of living a prosperous and abundant life. When this practice becomes routine, the manifestation stops being magical and becomes logical. Each day, Your every choice either fuels personal growth or reinforces the internal limitations that prevent you from manifesting the life you deserve. Everything is a matter of direction. Are you nourishing your mind with valuable content or with empty distractions? Are you surrounded by people who boost you or who drain your energy? The environment matters a lot. Creating an environment where the mind is strengthened is as essential as sunlight for the sprout that has just been born. And this is where the journey of professional development also begins to take shape. Because when you commit to real self-help, the kind that requires action, not just reading, you begin to attract opportunities, ideas, and connections that once seemed impossible. And this is no coincidence. It is the natural harvest of those who have cultivated, day after day, the invisible terrain of their being. But for this harvest to be truly abundant, it is necessary to take the next step. Life was not meant to be lived on autopilot. Every time someone says, "Let life take me," without realizing it, they are handing over the steering wheel of their own destiny to external forces, and that is dangerous. Napoleon Hill warned us that a lack of purpose is the root of failure. Living reactively is like being on a boat adrift. Any current takes you. Now, when talking about personal growth, it is impossible to ignore the power of planning your own life with intentionality. This isn't excessive control, it's clarity of vision. It's deciding firmly where you want to go, even if the whole world says it's better to stay put. Think with me. Have you ever tried to put together a puzzle without knowing what the final image is? It's frustrating, isn't it? This is what it's like to try to build an abundant life without having a clear direction. When you don't plan, other people will plan for you. External expectations from family, society, social networks end up dictating your steps. And that's where frustrations, emotional blocks, and limiting beliefs arise. The antidote: self-awareness. When you decide what you really want, you begin to align your actions with your dreams, not the dreams of others. Having a clear vision is like having a compass in the jungle of life. It doesn't mean the path will be easy, but it guarantees that you won't go in circles. A good practical exercise is to take a pen and paper and answer, what do I want to achieve in the next 3 years? And what am I doing now that brings me closer to, or further away from, that? This simple question can turn the key, because that's where self-discipline comes in. You don't just dream, you build. And when there is a success mindset, obstacles become steps. You begin to attract opportunities that were invisible before. It is at this point that the power of the mind reveals itself. When you are clear about what you want and begin to visualize this reality every day, your energetic frequency changes. You become more selective with what you consume, who you hang out with, and even what you think. Positive thinking becomes a habit, not an effort. And the more you hold that vibration, the more you manifest, because everything you want already exists, it just needs to be tuned into. It's not superficial self-help talk, it's energy science in action. It's about creating, not waiting. If you look closely, you'll realize that the most successful people you know have a pattern. They plan. They have clarity of purpose, well-defined goals, and a sense of urgency that turns ideas into action. And this applies to both those who want to get rich and those who seek inner peace. The secret is in consistency. A well-designed plan does not need to be perfect, it just needs to exist. Because when the mind knows where it's going, it starts working in your favor, even when you're sleeping. Now, if by now you have already understood the importance of taking control of your own life, get ready. Because the next step is even more powerful. It's not enough to know the destination. You need to see it clearly. This is where one of the biggest secrets of personal development comes in, and one that few people really master. Without clarity, even the best plan loses its way. Many people confuse movement with progress. They are always busy, but they don't know exactly with what. And that is dangerous. Napoleon Hill said that a mind without direction is an easy prey to negativity. It's like trying to hit a target blindfolded. No matter how hard you try, you'll waste energy. Therefore, clarity is more than knowing what you want. It's knowing what you don't want too. It's eliminating external noise and listening to the internal voice with courage and presence. The foundation of personal growth begins when a person allows themselves to pause and reflect. What do I really want? This simple question has made many change careers, cities, and even lives. But be careful, clarity requires truth. You can't seek abundance if, inside, you still sabotage yourself with limiting beliefs like, I'm not good enough, or this isn't for me. These inner voices need to be reprogrammed one by one. A great way to do this is to use specific affirmations, written in the present tense, such as, I am able to manifest everything I desire with focus and lightness. Clarity reduces stress because it shows you what really matters. Have you noticed how liberating it is to say no when you are sure of your yes? This is only possible when there is a successful mindset combined with intuition. You become lighter, more productive, more strategic. A practical example: if you know you want to achieve financial freedom in the next 5 years, your decisions today change. You start to invest better, study more, and maybe even cut expenses on things that don't make sense. Clarity is saving mental energy. It's curious how many people think they don't have time to think about life, but they keep complaining that they're lost. Clarity doesn't magically appear, it's created. A powerful exercise is to do an internal cleaning regularly. It can be writing in a notebook, meditating for 15 minutes, or even taking conscious walks in silence. What matters is connecting with what's inside, because that's where your true desires live. And once you find them, it becomes easier to keep your motivation high. Furthermore, clarity is what turns goals into plans. Saying I want to be happy is vague. Now saying I want to work on something I love, earn X per month, and have free time with my family is already a map. The difference between dreaming and realizing is the degree of definition. And when you have that definition, you start to vibrate at that frequency, and the universe responds. This is how manifestation is born. Not chaos, but clear direction. And this direction is the first step to living with purpose and abundance. And speaking of direction, there is an even deeper and more powerful aspect that needs to be mastered. Because there's no point in having clarity if your mind continues to be sabotaged by old thought patterns. It's time to look inside more carefully and understand how your mentality can be, at the same time, your greatest prison or your greatest liberation. It all starts in the mind. Your external reality is just a reflection of what you believe is possible internally. If your mindset is contaminated by negative thinking, no matter how much you try to act, something will always pull you back. Napoleon Hill spoke clearly about this. What you think, you become. If you still doubt your own potential, no manifestation technique, no affirmation, no plan will be enough. Because the battlefield is invisible, and it's called the mind. And those who don't control their own mind end up dominated by circumstances. Now, mastering mindset is not simply thinking positive. It goes much further than that. It's about mental reprogramming. It's looking head-on at the limiting beliefs that have been implanted in you since childhood and replacing them. It's learning to talk to yourself constructively. Instead of judging yourself for making mistakes, say, I'm learning at every step. Instead of repeating, nothing works for me, start saying, the universe is always conspiring in my favor. This narrative shift is small but powerful. It is what makes room for abundance to enter. And if you want a practical example, here's one of the most effective: visualize. Every day, close your eyes for 5 minutes and see, in every detail, the life you want to live. Feel the emotion of already living it. This rewires your neural pathways, adjusts your vibration, and attracts situations that align with this new self. Does it seem too simple to be true? Try it for 21 days. Visualize your dream home, your healthy body, your projects thriving, your financial freedom. This is success mindset applied. It's not magic. It's focus. Another essential point is the environment. Try to grow up in a place where there is only doubt, fear, negativity. It's almost impossible. Your mind needs fertile soil. So protect your energy. Choose who you hang out with, what you consume, what you watch. Look for content that elevates, challenges, and awakens the best version of you. Read Napoleon Hill, Joe Dispenza. Listen to podcasts that talk about personal growth and professional development. Feed your mind with quality, just as you take care of what you eat. After all, what goes in shapes what comes out. And if this content is making sense to you, take advantage and subscribe to the channel, because this is very important for the growth of the channel and for you to continue following transformative content like this. Like the video too, it helps more people discover the power of the mind and awaken to a new reality. Because mastering the mind is freeing yourself. It's about gaining autonomy over your own thoughts, emotions, and decisions. And from that, everything changes. You become more resilient, more creative, more open to the infinite possibilities of the universe. And when that happens, oh my friend, reality begins to transform before your eyes. But for this transformation to be lasting, there is a basis that cannot be ignored. She is present in every day, in every decision, in every small gesture. And that's what we're going to talk about now. Habits are the invisible bricks of reality. Every small action you repeat daily is building, brick by brick, the life you live today. Do you want to know how your mind, your bank account, your health, your relationships are doing? Look at your habits. Napoleon Hill already warned, it is not grandiose events that define success, but simple gestures, repeated with discipline. Personal growth happens when you understand that the extraordinary is actually the ordinary done with intention and consistency. A habit is not born great. It is born small, almost imperceptible. It's waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate, drinking water as soon as you get up, reading 5 pages of a book on a success mindset. It is actions like this that reprogram your mind, your body, and your energy. And the most beautiful part, one positive habit leads to another. When you start your day with gratitude, your frequency vibrates higher. And when the vibration rises, you begin to manifest people, ideas, and opportunities aligned with abundance. The common mistake is to believe that habits need to be intense from the beginning. None of that. Start small, but start. Do you want to get rich? Start studying about investments 10 minutes a day, a channel like Me Poop, or books like The Richest Man in Babylon. These are great starts. Do you want to live with more motivation? Choose a guided affirmations audio before bed. Do you want to improve your professional development? Set aside 20 minutes a day to learn a new skill on YouTube or Coursera. Don't wait for life to change. Change your habits and life will change with you. And make no mistake, bad habits also take a toll. Daily negative thinking, silent procrastination, self-sabotage disguised as, I'll leave it until tomorrow. All of this also builds, but it builds walls. And these walls are often invisible. You only notice when you start to feel trapped, stagnant, without knowing why. And the reason is simple. What you do every day is shaping you. What you repeat becomes identity. Therefore, ask yourself frequently, what are my habits saying about who I am becoming? Now, imagine cultivating habits that feed your self-esteem, that remind you daily of your value, your power of manifestation, your right to live in abundance. This routine becomes a magnetic field. You start to vibrate so high that good things just flow. It's not luck, it's cause and effect. Your routine is the solo. Your habits are the seeds. And its consistency is the sunlight that makes everything bloom. It is this invisible foundation that supports all the achievements you wish to manifest. But even with strong habits, it's possible to fall into the trap of disconnection. That feeling of doing a lot, but without purpose. And that's why the next step is critical. Because when you live with purpose, everything changes. Motivation is renewed. Fatigue gives way to direction. And it is this inner strength that guides us that we are going to talk about now. Living with purpose is like turning on an internal light that never goes out. When a person discovers their why, they no longer need external pushes. They are moved by a fire that comes from within. Napoleon Hill wrote that burning desire is the starting point of all achievements. And this desire only gains strength when it is connected to something greater than money or recognition. True purpose is what gets you out of bed even on difficult days. It's what gives meaning to pain and turns obstacles into fuel. It's easy to fall into the trap of living to achieve goals that aren't even yours. Many people wake up every day just to pay bills, please others, live up to expectations that, deep down, don't even reflect their truth. And this, over time, saps vital energy. Personal growth requires daily reconnection with what really matters. There is no point in following a path just because it seems safe or logical. Purpose is not logic, it is alignment. It's when your soul recognizes that you are in the right place, doing the right thing, even if the world doesn't understand yet. And if you don't yet know what your purpose is, that's okay. The search is already part of the journey. Start by noticing the moments when you feel full. What would you be willing to do even if you didn't get anything for it? What topics make you lose track of time? Sometimes purpose is between the lines, in the passions you abandoned, in the skills you took for granted, in the advice that others always ask you for. The secret is to listen more to your heart and less to outside noise. When you live with purpose, motivation is renewed every morning. Even if the body is tired, the soul remains firm. Because there is meaning, there is direction, and most importantly, there is contribution. True purpose is not just about you. It expands. He touches other lives. And that's where personal development meets professional development. You begin to prosper, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, energetically. Abundance becomes a natural consequence of your surrender. And don't confuse purpose with occupation. You can live your purpose by being a therapist, designer, cook, or artist. What matters is the intention behind what you do. A person can serve coffee with purpose or give an entire talk without it. The difference is in the energy. When you are aligned with your why, the universe responds. Time flows better, ideas emerge more clearly, paths open more easily. Because the energy of pure intention has unbelievable manifestation power. But be careful, purpose is not static. It moves, grows, matures. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Because as important as finding your purpose is knowing how to follow your evolution. After all, life changes. And whoever doesn't change with it runs the risk of losing themselves. Purpose is not a lifetime sentence, it is a living journey. What made sense yesterday may no longer make sense today. And that's okay. That's what personal growth is, a constant cycle of rebirth. Napoleon Hill talked about the importance of adaptability, flexibility of thought, the ability to adjust the route without losing direction. As you mature, you gain new insights, new experiences, and with them come new missions. If your purpose has changed, it is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of evolution. And evolution is always an invitation to self-improvement. But to understand that the purpose has changed, you need to listen. Listen to the silence. Listen to the discomfort. Listening to that discomfort that arises when you're doing what you've always done, but you no longer feel the same vibration. This is not weakness, it is a sign. It's your soul saying, we've already grown here, it's time to go further. Mental reprogramming comes precisely at this point. It is what will prevent you from sabotaging this call with thoughts like, I can't change now, it's already too late. What if it doesn't work out? The successful mindset understands that changing is part of the path. When you recognize that your purpose has evolved, the next step is to realign. And that takes courage. Courage to let go of labels, to give up comfort zones, to take steps towards the unknown, trusting that the universe always supports those who act with integrity and intention. Alignment with the new purpose begins with small actions, changing your routine, your studies, your projects. Sometimes it's a new conversation. Other times, it's saying no to what no longer matches who you have become. And it's important to remember that this realignment doesn't have to be drastic. Sometimes all it takes is an adjustment, a new look at what you already do, a new why behind the same activity. What changes is the intention. And when the intention changes, everything changes. Energy flows differently, enthusiasm returns, motivation is renewed. You feel whole again. And this feeling is a clear sign that you are where you should be. Abundance, manifestation, positive thinking. Everything becomes more accessible when there is this type of connection. In difficult times, it is purpose, even when changing, that keeps you firm. It acts as an anchor when the winds of doubt blow. And at the same time, like a compass when the winds of success distract you. Because purpose not only lifts you up when you fall, but also keeps you humble when you rise. And when there is this type of balance, the mind enters a state of presence and clarity that allows you to grow with consistency and wisdom. And so, aligned with your renewed purpose, your strengthened mind and your firm habits, you become a true creator of your own reality. Now it's time to go even deeper. Let's go back to the beginning, where it all begins, with a simple but powerful decision, focusing on you. Now tell me, how many times have you had access to this type of knowledge but missed it? How many times did you promise yourself that you would change, but got lost in the routine? Maybe this is your real chance. Because there's no point in just watching, you have to apply. What will you start doing today, however small, to align your mind with what you really want to manifest? You already have all the tools within you. Positive thinking, the power of the mind, the capacity for mental reprogramming. The question is, will you continue living on autopilot, or will you finally take control of your reality? What are you waiting for to live with more purpose, more self-discipline, more abundance? Right here in the comments, which habit will you change from today? What limiting belief will you leave behind? And what new affirmation will you repeat every day to build a new identity? This interaction further strengthens your journey and can inspire others who are going through the same process. And if this video made sense to you, if at some point something here moved inside, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. This way you don't miss the next content that will continue to guide you on this journey of personal growth, professional development, manifestation, and real transformation. This is just the beginning. True change happens when you choose to not just listen, but act. Do you see the video that is now appearing on your screen? He didn't appear to you by chance. Click and see, as it can also help you a lot.